Hi, welcome to Client Stories with DNAngels. My name is Laura, and I'm one of Heidi's co-hosts for Lost and Found. I wanted to tell you guys about a case that I worked on for the last maybe 6 months, and I just wrapped it up this week, and it's so exciting. This is what we live for. And it kind of tells you that a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work really is what gets you there. You know, sometimes our cases are solved in a day, an hour, but sometimes it just, I know in the past we've all talked about how we kind of work on cases backwards. We start like figuring out who the great-grandparents are, then kind of work down where people match up. Of course, I did this. It was an adoption case. Things were not working out, so I'm concentrating on the mother's side. We actually got the mother's side figured out, and the reason it was so hard is the mom changed her first and last name, which really messed us up. But we figured it out. The client contacted her. She wasn't really helpful. She didn't want to provide any information about the dad. She did say the name of the street where she lived around that time in the town. So that was helpful. We kind of knew the town from his birth records, but we have no other identifiable information about the father. So now I'm really concentrating on the dad's side. So I'm looking at both of the dad's sets of grandparents, and I'm not finding connections anywhere. I finally found one line that I could kind of connect down, but nothing else connected at all. So I was really digging into to one of the sets of the great-grandparents there. And it ends up that I found the death record for the dad. I noticed the next year in the census record, the mom had mentioned that she had 5 kids and only 4 were alive. And I was like, all right, let's go check that out, because her kids all seem pretty young. And so I went and looked it up. I didn't find anything right away. But then I found like a distant cousin that mentioned they had a great aunt or uncle that was adopted. Totally different family. It was kind of screwy, but everything matched. The dates matched. Everything really lined up. So, and then we did have one small match in there because it was like a couple generations down. So we ended up going through that and found this gentleman's son and granddaughter. And my client met with the granddaughter, and she was such a help. She's like, oh, I will help you out. And I know that last name. That's funny because that's related to me, but it wasn't anything that we could figure out. She didn't really mention any details at this time. So my client actually went and met with the lady and her father, and they're all like, oh, yeah, we're going to figure this out. It's going to be one of my cousins, that kind of thing. So the woman, she volunteered to take a DNA test. We call that target testing, and that was the best. We were so happy to have that. But then we're sitting here on pins and needles while we're waiting for the test to get to her, for her to take it, for her to come back. And, you know, we're just sitting here literally every day. Did it come yet? Did it come yet? So it finally came in the day before yesterday. So it showed that she was a half-sister. So this whole time, the person who was helping him was his half-sister, and he had met his bio father. To date, right now, this just happened, so he hasn't spoken to the bio dad yet to be like, to let him know that it's his dad. So he's gonna let the siblings that grew up with him to tell him, and then take it from there. So I'll definitely have to give an update on that. But the story does get weirder because I was like, I couldn't match anything here, and so it ends up that one of the parents there, one of the grandparents, was adopted. So we figured, that all ended up meshing with what we had. Then for the other side, I'm finding nothing. And the cousin randomly said, oh, that's so funny because my dad, that's who on paper is not really my real dad. My grandmother had an affair, and the grandfather, her husband, went and murdered the guy. So, like, big family lore there. And she, like, had his name. So, woo! And the name, it totally lined up with who we had. So, that was solved. But, I mean, talk about luck. If there's no way we would have figured any of this out if, we didn't take a random guess. Let's just start at this person. I mean, it wasn't so random because I was looking at ages and I was looking at locations and that kind of thing. But, it just really tells you, do not give up. We work so hard. Obviously, you all want to find your bio family so hard, but we really want to do that for you. We get really invested in all this. So I will definitely provide an update when my client actually talks to the dad. But I just had to tell you that I was so excited. And if you guys can all, it's the season of giving. If you can all like and share our posts, and if you have anything that you can donate, you know, every dollar counts, because then it helps us help others in the same situation. We'd appreciate it. Have happy holidays. We'll talk to you all on our next episode.